Hello, and welcome to the screencast of how I made the Billy the Kid movie using Kerpoof Movie Maker. I'm going to touch on some of the features that I used to create my movie, and let's get started. We're going to select the Make a Movie feature. Here it loads the storylines that you can choose from for writing your own animated movie, and we're going to use the Tall Tales. These are the different scenes that you can launch to start setting your characters in and animating them. I'm going to choose the desert scene. Sorry, I accidentally right-clicked on my mouse. Here we've loaded into our window the animation strings that we use to create our movie. On the left side, these are our different things that we can do with our movie, and you can roll over each of these functions and it will tell you exactly what you can do with each of these functions. In the center, we have the characters that we can simply click and drag into our scene. And as we pull them out, new characters surface. This program is set up in such a way that only a specific number of characters display at one time. So to see the full range of characters, you simply click on this lightning rod and it poofs away different characters off the scene and loads new ones. So as you can see, after we drag in a character, we can select it and make it active. And when we do this, different methods appear for each of the characters. So if I pull in some different characters, you can see how the different methods change according to each character. Panhandle Pete does many different things compared to what my wanted poster does. So in order to animate the characters, you simply select what you want them to do by grabbing the method and moving it over onto the animation string. I want Panhandle Pete to ride a horse onto the scene. These are the parameters of riding that horse. Let's look at this. Place a point for things to move to. This is your point or your placement marker. I want Panhandle Pete to move to this spot on my scene. That is my destination parameter. So by placing destination A there, I can go back to my window that tells Panhandle Pete to ride his horse in about 4 seconds to destination A, which is this point. And when I'm done, I'm going to click OK. Now, if I want to go back and change those parameters, all I have to do is click back on that method location in the string, and I can go back in and edit that. If I wanted to remove Panhandle Pete, the destination marker, or anything off the screen, all I have to do is select it and pull it off. Now, if I want to see Panhandle Pete ride his horse to the destination marker A, all I have to do is click the play button. Let's see if that happens. You can see the line moving along the timeline. It shows you where you're at. Sure enough, it worked. So, I would like to add a title to this scene. If I don't select any of my characters on the scene, you see the staging methods in the lower right or the upper right corner of this box. I want to show a title, and that's how I want my scene to start. So I'm going to drag that onto an animation string at 0 seconds. And now my parameters are here, and I can set my title, Billy the Kid. And I know this is going to appear big from experience, so I don't want it to bleed off the sides of my window. So I am going to add in some returns to it, and I'm going to click OK, and I think I actually want that 3 seconds. So I'm going to click OK. Now I can't see it because it will load when I play it. I'm just going to leave it there for now. So now you can see that I've added a few more characters to the scene without actually screencasting them for you. I did this just to save some time. I'd like to get these folks talking. So I am going to make Panhandle Pete active. Now, to make him speak, I'm I'm going to remove that. I want to select the say method and drag it over underneath his riding horse method so that he speaks after he approaches the campfire. And I'm going to set that speech maybe for 4 seconds, and he's going to greet the native Hispanos. Señor and Señora. Have you seen that outlaw? Billy the Kid. I'm adding some returns because I don't want his speech bubble to bleed off the scene. So I'm going to click OK. So now I've set that parameter. So, Senora is not happy to see the sheriff, and I want to select the emote method to indicate such. So, I have selected this and drug the emote method over to the timeline and already placed it next to Panhandle Pete as he rides in. I have set the duration at 3 seconds. She is not happy of any of these. She might be having a bad day. So let's set that parameter for Jane Ryder. Now, there's something missing from this scene itself, and I think that that's music. So I am going to unselect Jane, and I get my stage methods back. I'd like to add some Western music to my movie, so I'm going to add that to my timeline. Now, I've listened to some of these songs, and I know that the song that I want is Underworld, and it's the Bluegrass Barn Dance. I'd like to set that for the whole movie rather than for just a few seconds of this scene. So I'm going to select the whole movie, and now that song should play throughout the entire movie. Let's see what happens. Here comes the sheriff. Oh, Senora is not happy to see her. And this is a success. Now, I'd like to add one more scene, the final scene, which you may have seen in the final cut of this animated movie. But before I do that, I want to make sure that I save this scene first. So to do that, I'm not going to select Done because that will just end the scene and not save it. So I'm going to select the Save icon. Scene 1 is fine. I'd like to share it with my class or group. I'm going to select Save Scene. So now, to add another scene, I'm going to go over to the far left side to my Add More Scenes button, select it, and these are the scenes that I've already created. If I wanted to have more option or start from scratch with more scenes, I simply go Add, and I'm back to all the original scenes from the Tall Tale storyline. I'm going to jump into the second scene that I've already created for this movie, and here we are, and it's just the same as with the last scene. We just select our characters, we can scroll through them. I'm looking for my catfish Kate who rides in for the day. There she is. Pull and drag her there, set my destination marker there. That's where I want her to move to. I'll select her and move her to destination A in about 3 seconds. And I just continue doing whatever I would like to do. Now I've created a movie from some of the information that I've learned, possibly from an ELA course or a history course. I've done some pre-writing, establishing my storyline, and figured out what text I want them to say, which characters should be saying it, and in the process, I've actually created a computer program. And this is the kind of program that animators might use to create movies or video games. It's a foundational starting point to teach your students how to write their own program. Thank you for watching our movie.